What's going on, people? I'm just continuing to play around with this little YouTube live thing. Got a little break here at work. Hopefully some people start joining in here soon. Just going to do a little Q&A. Something a little fun just to mess around with. Well, man, Chris Cornell. Go ahead and open up with that while everybody's getting in here. That really sucks. I think, aside from Eddie Vedder, that means that pretty much all of the big pioneer grunge singers are gone. I mean, Lane's been gone for years. You got Scott Weiland just passed away last year. Obviously, Kurt Cobain's been gone for a long time, and now he's gone too. So it's gonna be another rough year. Another rough year for all that. What's going on, Luis? What's going on, Playtime? Good. The live chat actually freaking works this time. This little YouTube live thing is cool, but it's definitely hard to play around with it when you're doing something live. No, I have not found Wonder Woman, Ryan O'Toole. I have not found Naked Black Widow either. What's going on, Sandra Webster? So yeah, I was just talking about Chris Cornell while everybody was getting in here. Another music legend gone. So just messing around with this thing for those of you guys who are just now joining in. Just this little YouTube thing. What's going on, Married Movie Reviews? If you guys have any questions, you can just shoot them my way and I'll answer them. Just playing around. Just a little fun video while I'm on break. No. Oh, man. Let me go ahead and turn my volume down because that happened last time too. I'm getting texts and everything, and now you hear the video and all you hear is eeeeee. I never got to see Soundgarden live either, and they just played at the damn... I'm gonna turn this truck back on. They just played at the damn Rockville too, so I would have had my last chance to see Chris Cornell live, and I didn't take it. What's my thoughts on The Burning? It was okay. I didn't grow up watching that movie. I got it because Drum Dum said it was really good, and I enjoyed it for what it was. But Cropsey was a lame villain. The kills were good when they got started, but it felt like the movie took forever to get going. It felt like it took about 45 minutes to get to the first kill. The raft scene was awesome. Some of the, all the Tom Savini effects was really cool. But it was just an okay slasher. I think there's a lot better ones. It was definitely one of those Friday the 13th, kind of rip-off movies. But I've seen a lot worse. You kind of have you have to manage your expectations when you watch slashers. I'm not on my lunch break. I'm just between jobs. I go around to all different job sites, kind of in whatever order I want to, and we just finished our second one, and we only have 2 today, so we're just kind of taking a little breather before we head back to the shop. So, a lunch break where I'm not eating lunch, I guess. I hate how what do I do for work? I do soil testing. I do construction materials testing. So for example, this is the site we're on right now, and they've cleared it, getting ready to build something out here. And before they build anything, they send us out, and we have a couple different truck mounted drill rigs. We go out and we drill into the ground, and we test the soil for compaction, the types of soils and everything, so we could tell them what to do as far as foundations and footings and everything. So we're basically the first step of construction. But that's what I do. For the most part. There's some other small things that I'll do if we don't have any drilling to do, but for the most part, soil testing. I hate how this live chat won't just stay up. Oh man. What's up, Jonathan Hayden? What's up, Durbin? The Durbinator. Oh man, what you guys got going on? You all hard at work too? Or hardly working? Or a bit of both? What other impressions can I do? I don't know, actually. I do a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger ones because my kids love it. They always ask me to do it. Oh God, other impersonations. I can't think of any on the fly now. I'm sure I can do a few more. If I watch a movie, I can kind of spitball a couple of impersonations, but Arnold Schwarzenegger is kind of the one that I can just do on the fly. How's this live thing working for you? It works pretty good. It works pretty good now. It turned out a little iffy, the first one that I did, because I only had one viewer. And I think trying to do a live stream at 11 Eastern, everybody's still sleeping on everywhere else in the U.S. and probably a lot of the other rest of the world too. So it was kind of a weird time to do a live stream, but it was cool just to be able to do a quick little channel update, just to get it out there and not have to do the editing and the rendering and everything like that. Just, hey guys, and then just click it. What state do I live in? I live in Georgia. I live in just outside of Savannah, Georgia, which is right on the coast. There's a freaking gnat in here that is pissing me off. Yep, Lee lives about 3 hours and change away from here. It's kind of down southwest from where I live. So who knows, maybe we'll have a collab where we're both in the same room one day. Who knows? Have I seen the movie Free Fire? I have not. That's one of the movies last month. Last month was one of those movies, or one of those months where I just was not motivated to go to the movies at all. The only thing that really came out that I kind of needed to see was Fate of the Furious. Free Fire looked interesting enough, but they wasn't playing at any theaters near me, so I would have had to travel to go see it. And that's the only other movie that I was interested in seeing, but I just didn't have the time or the means to go see it, unfortunately. I heard it was pretty good, though. I wrote about 15,000 words on my new book, taking a movie break, so I'm watching Pet Sematary. Hell yeah, that's a good movie to have a break on. Do I watch American Horror Story? I watched the first season, absolutely loved it. I watched the second season, didn't care for it, even though everybody loves that season. Watched the third season, hated it. Watched the first 2 episodes of the following 3 seasons and cannot get into it. I've all but abandoned the show. I think the first season is by far the best. The rest of them are, they're not really that great to me. I live near Brian Lomax. That's cool. Lee from Walking Dead. No, Lee from Drum Dums, Ryan. Get educated. Go check out Drum Dums. Yeah, everybody loves that show. And as a horror fan, you would think that I would love it, but it's just not for me. I don't really care for the story direction that they go in. I don't really care for some of the acting sometimes. It feels like a show that's kind of a victim of its own success. It feels like they try to go bigger, they try to go crazier and zanier, and to me, just that haunted house vibe in that first season worked perfectly, and ever since then, they've lost me a little bit more each season, and I just can't get into it. And it's so hard to watch shows that you're not into anymore, because there's so much shit to watch. Chattanooga, Tennessee, awesome. My grandparents live out there. I go out there at least once every couple years. Yeah, check him out, Ryan. He does a lot of horror reviews, but he does other reviews too. I don't know if you're into horror or not. Seems like I'm the only one in our little circle of YouTubers that is a horror fan. I actually went to Tennessee this past year whenever that hurricane, what was it, Hurricane Matthew or whatever that came through the end of last year. I was up in Tennessee trying to dodge that bullet. This new season's going to follow the consequences of the election. It shows how the characters' lives are affected by the election. Yeah, I don't know about that, because not only is the election just such a controversial thing that I don't know if they're going to alienate a lot of viewers, but I'm so sick of hearing about the election. I mean, even now, I understand all the politics and everything that people are scared of nowadays. I'm not commenting on that, but just the election itself, people still saying that Hillary got cheated, or, Donald Trump did this, and to all of a sudden put it into TV, I don't know if I would be interested in all that. But I could be wrong. If they do something cool and interesting with it, I might watch it. Black Mirror, isn't that Netflix show? I've heard the name. I know absolutely nothing about the show. Stranger Things, yes, I've seen Stranger Things. I loved season 1. Can't wait for season 2. Michael Javidson, don't really have a question, but nice vids, dude. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, Stranger Things was a lot of fun because it really ties into all the movies that I grew up with. Stephen King, John Carpenter, a little bit of Steven Spielberg, all that just meshed into one beautiful package. I loved it. Horror's not one of my favorites. I'm trying to get more into it. Yeah, you should. You should. You should. It's probably the best show on Netflix, just saying. Well, I'll check it out then. How many seasons are into it? That's the big question. Is it going to take me 4 years to catch up? I've heard of it though. So Netflix has got some awesome stuff. I'm always curious, especially if people recommend it. This thing's working pretty good. I like this little YouTube live thing. I don't know if I'll be able to, or if I'm gonna try using it for anything else. I know like Sean Chandler uses it a lot for like movie reactions and TV reactions, stuff like that. I kind of like the Q&A and the channel update thing. I don't necessarily want to rob his ideas, so I'll probably try to find a creative way to use this, but I like this little program. It's pretty cool. 3 seasons, and it's such a unique show that you can literally start on any of them. Awesome. Well, I might do that then. Kind of an off-the-wall sci-fi show that I like a lot that I can't wait to come back is Orphan Black. That's a really cool show, and that took a long time for me to get on board with that show, but when I did, I binged, like, me and Holly both binged like all 4 seasons. We loved it. 13, your time was come, be alert. I'm not sure what that means, buddy. You can clarify that for me. My brother keeps telling me to watch that. That's a really cool show. It's wild. It's basically this woman finds out that she's a clone, and there's this corporation trying to hunt them down, and that's about all I'm going to tell you about it, because it just goes in so many wild different directions, and it's such entertaining TV because what the hell is that girl's name? Oh, I'm going to kick myself in the ass for not knowing her name. Damn it, the main girl, but she plays like 8 roles, and she plays every single one of them totally different. Tatiana Maslany, that's her name. I'm glad I've thought of that, but she is awesome. She is worth watching the show for, just in her performance. Am I going to watch The Mist on Spike TV? I'm curious enough to watch the pilot because I absolutely love the movie. For whatever reason, that movie's always had hate, even though I've always thought it was brilliant, and now all of a sudden it seems like everybody's fans of it, which is very strange, but Stephen King doesn't tend to have very good luck with TV shows. You know, they did the Under the Dome thing, which ended up, you know, a disaster. But I'm curious enough to give it a shot, because they could turn that into a TV series and make it work. And if you guys haven't seen the movie, definitely check out the movie. Don't listen to the hate when it first came out. It's an awesome, awesome movie. It's the guy that directed the Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile, for Christ's sake. I mean, it's a horror movie directed by that guy, so definitely check it out. The end was insane. Yes. And that's one of the main things that people were bitching about. Like, the ending wasn't very good. And I'm like, are you kidding me? That's like one of the most shocking movie endings ever. And there's no, it's not like a plot twist necessarily. It's just this shocking thing that happens that you cannot predict at all. Yes, Luis, the movie was great. Spread the word. Is everybody going to see Alien Covenant tonight, or tomorrow, or Saturday? I will be seeing it tomorrow night. The ending was unfortunately the only part that I liked, but to me they never seemed to reach a point of desperation. Yeah, see, that's where the TV series might be able to do that a little bit better, because you can only develop it so much in a 2-hour movie. So I get what you're saying, and that's part of the reason that people said that they didn't like the ending. They felt that it was kind of rushed, it wasn't really earned, which I can kind of understand. But yeah, if they can nail the TV series of just kind of like The Walking Dead, but a lot better, hopefully. If they can just nail that long, drawn-out desperation, then it'll work out a little bit better. Yes, I'm seeing it tonight. I'm going to see it Saturday. Yeah, I'm really curious. I'm going to go see it with my dad, because he's the one that got me into Alien, so I'm going to wait till tomorrow night to go see it with him. I think it'll be a lot more fun. We went and saw Logan together, and it was a blast, so that's going to be fun. And I'm hoping the movie doesn't disappoint, because I keep hearing mixed things. I keep hearing kind of the same problem as Prometheus, but a little bit better than Prometheus. I keep hearing, you know, most amazing movie since Aliens, and then I hear absolute garbage. So it's all over the place. So I really don't know what to expect. Can't wait for our spoiler talk. Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a great way to wrap up that whole series. It's been a lot of fun going over Aliens with Durbin, guys, because Durbin's watching these movies for the first time, and I get to come at him and discuss it with him as somebody who's watched them my entire life. So that right there gives you interesting conversations, especially when we agree on things, because it means that I'm not crazy. Especially with Alien Resurrection. Now I know I'm not the only person that really likes that movie. And now I just lost 13 subscribers. man. What else you guys got? I know there's some questions brewing out there. Hopefully my video quality is coming in good. It looks good on my phone, but like the last the channel update I did, the first half of it looked all pixelated. Awesome. That's the main thing that I'm worried about. That's why live streaming has always been rough for me. Because I tried doing live streaming months ago on my laptop, but I could never get the settings right, and it always looked like shit. And I'm a stickler for my quality. I like the production that I put into it. I like the resolution and everything. I don't want to put out just a little, 360p garbage video just for the sake of getting it out first, like with some live reactions and stuff like that. So that's what's always kept me away from live videos, but I'm glad this program's working good. Is it as hot everywhere else as it is here? Holy shit. Today's not that bad, but this week has been miserable out here in Georgia. There's an episode of Black Mirror called Shut Up and Dance on the 3rd season. You should start with that. Start with the third season? Wow. That's interesting. Why should I start with that one? Are you going to do an Amityville Horror review? I love the original and the remake. I definitely probably will at some point. I love the remake. I haven't seen the original in so long. I remember it being a little bit corny when I was young, but I'm not opposed to watching it again. It's always going to be different when you watch it when you're older. So eventually, probably. Pretty nice in Michigan, 86 right now. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's been like in the high 90s out here with no wind, which is the only saving grace out here on the coast, is sometimes you get some good wind from the shores. But good God, if there's no wind, it's just dead heat. And when you work outside doing physical labor, you feel every degree. Trust me. Okay. That's interesting. I've never heard somebody say start with the 3rd season. That's pretty cool. Each episode is a different story with different actors. Oh. Well, that makes a lot more sense then. Okay. So let me see. Shut Up and Dance. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. So that's kind of the one that'll sell me on it, I guess. Does anybody in here watch Banshee? That's a TV show that I always sing the praises of that not many people have seen. It's a little like Twilight Zone on meth. Sold! I still watch old Twilight Zone episodes sometimes. I'll turn on Netflix and just pick a random episode and watch it, and that show is, to this day, is still brilliant. So that's enough to get me interested right there. Does nobody watch Banshee, I guess? Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Well, Banshee is basically this show on Cinemax. I'll go ahead and sell it right now. And it's like a cop show, basically, is kind of the most watered down way I can say it. But basically this guy gets out of prison. He goes back to get this diamonds that he stole. That is what got him into prison in this old town where his ex-girlfriend lives. And he gets there, finds out he can't get them quite as fast as he wanted to. This new sheriff is coming into town, gets murdered right in front of him, and he takes the identity of the sheriff so he can stay in town and figure out how to get his diamonds. It is the most awesome, badass, wild show that you can watch. It's 4 seasons long. The 4th season's only like 7 episodes, so it's kind of a shortened season, so really like 3.5 seasons. But it's all on Blu-ray. I'm sure you can find it on like streaming networks, not Netflix, but that is a badass show. Just got into the House of Cards. I watched the 1st season of that show, but I'm not a big politics guy, so I enjoyed it, but it took a lot for me to get through it, and I've yet to find the strength to start season 2, even though I'm curious what the hell happens, and I always hear everybody talk about how great of a show it is. Sold, yes. And one thing about Banshee, the fight scenes in that are awesome. It's like the most badass, gory 90s action movie on steroids. Waiting for Twin Peaks on Showtime. I never saw Twin Peaks. I never watched it back in the 90s and everything whenever it was on, so I'm curious I don't know if I'm going to be up for the revival or not, because I don't know how much Twin Peaks knowledge I need to know to kind of get into it. 13 Reasons Season 2 thoughts. Don't do it. That's my thoughts. I loved the first season, and they could do some interesting stories with those characters, yes, but to me that's going to betray the effect of the first season, because the entire effect of that first season is very finite for the amount of episodes that there are. So now you're going to kind of betray the whole effect of the Hannah Baker storyline, and they're even talking about her being a part of this storyline, so that's even worse, because you're going to stretch it out even more now. And even though they left some things open, like the fate of certain characters, and especially the one kid, which I can't remember his name, the photographer, when they showed him with, I'm trying not to spoil it, but whenever he opened up that crate and showed whatever he had in that crate in his room and what he was going to do with that, there are some questions there, but I can come up with the answers to those questions just fine on my own. I'm fine with it ending where it ended, and I'm just worried that they're going to kind of ruin the legacy of the show with a season 2. But they could totally prove me wrong, because the first season was incredible, so if it's the same people involved, I'm sure they can make it work. But if I was a betting man, I would bet against it, unfortunately. Thanks for the Dark Crystal link. I remember you talking about the movie Durbin, so when I saw it, I had to let you know. And we're driving, so gonna wrap this up, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for a minute here. I'm gonna do more of these Q&As. I didn't do one when I reached 800 subscribers. But I'll be doing more of these here and there. I'm not gonna abuse it too much, but I should be hitting 900 subscribers, I would imagine, before the end of the month. So I'll do another one of these live Q&As, and I will definitely check out Shut Up and Dance. I will drive safe, because I'm just now getting ready to get off this site. But you guys are awesome, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out.